Cool. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to day 7 of rehearsals from Rotterdam. It was the second run through of the first half of semi-final 2, plus very exciting, our first chance to see the Big Five plus the Netherlands in action. So a very long day. We started at 9, literally only just finished in the last few minutes, I think, the Spanish rehearsal in the last 20 minutes or so. So a very long day, the longest day of all the rehearsals, in fact. I won't comment on James's rehearsal. I will let other people do that. I think that's only fair. It was, but it was good to see it in action. And remember, of course, this is just the first rehearsal for him. I know we've said that quite a lot. It's just the first rehearsal. So yeah, but I will love you and leave you. Have a lovely evening. And Danny, Hass, Adrian, over to you.
Hey, thank you very much,
Thank
Alasdair.
you,
Hi. Okay, yes, as it was a very, very, very busy day. We started at 9 o'clock this morning, so that's 10 hours of being plugging away and doing stuff. It's been a very, very fun, interesting day. As always, it flies by, it's been really, really good to see how things are beginning to shape up for many of the acts. So, what should we do? Do you want to talk about the big 6 first of all, Hassan, before we move on to the other ones? Because that's what everyone's really dying to find out, anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
I know.
Okay,
I think everyone has really upped the ante.
Yeah.
Now, usually Italy is always in my top 3. This year it's not. Even though I've always been a big fan of glam rock, it's only because there have been so many other fantastic songs. You know that it's gone down my sort of in my sort of ranking. But very impressive nevertheless. But for me, it is France. It's just such a beautiful stripped back sort of performance. I mean, that was my favorite song ever since I first heard it. And I just think it is the one to beat, really. I mean, Barbara is absolutely superb, and it's just so simple. It gives you goosebumps. It's absolutely excellent.
Well, yeah. What I'll say is the odds agree with you, because France has shot up from 3rd place. They were first this morning.
Yeah.
Then Destiny performed, who was really good. We'll talk about her later. She went down to 2nd. Then Italy performed. She went down to 3rd. And then after that, she's shot up to 1st place, and she's now actually 21% chance of winning, which is 5% way ahead of anyone else at the moment. So obviously the momentum is with Barbara at the moment. So I think,
yeah. I mean, I have to admit, France had been robbed so many times over the last few decades, really. But I think they've got a really good chance this year. And let's just talk about James. I think he had quite a good first rehearsal. It's like we would say, it's always the first one, and I think he's still getting used to the stage. I do like the setting. I like the 2 big trumpets. It's a really fun performance, and he's joined by 4 really lively and happy-looking sort of backing singers. And when everyone seems as if they're having fun, that usually translates to the viewers as well. So I think he's done really well. Germany is bonkers, but I love it. And I've always loved the Netherlands song. I just think it's a great, wonderful anthem. If it was a stage show, it would win awards galore. So far, great stuff with the Big Five and the host nation.
Adrian, what do you think about the Big Five in the Netherlands today?
Yeah, I think they all had good rehearsals, and they all came with something interesting. I personally don't like France. It doesn't do it for me, but I can see why people think it is the potential winner. It certainly was a strong rehearsal, although I don't think you could really call it a rehearsal, because she's basically done the same thing as she did in the national final. So it's, there's not that much to rehearse as such. I thought the Netherlands had a great first rehearsal. Jean-Gu's act, his song, I love what it stands for. I love that he's bringing a very different perspective to the contest, a new language for one, but a kind of a queer and post-colonial perspective, and I think that's really cool, and I loved most of it, and I think there are bits that can be improved, and hopefully second rehearsals and so on will do that. Italy also were really good. rock is, as we've established many times this week, is not my thing at all, really. But they bring it really a huge energy to the stage, and they're Italian and they're rockers and they're half naked and they're just cool. Like, people across Europe are just going to look at that and think, those people. They probably will use a different word than people, but those people are cool. Spain was a bit of an unusual one. It's like a whole other new song he's brought. And the UK, I thought, had a really good first rehearsal as well. And I think the UK, it is what it is. It's a fun song, uplifting, and the performance will show that. And hopefully with an audience there as well, that will really boost that song.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think all of the direct finalists managed to do really good first rehearsals today, and usually it's very difficult for the direct finalists because inevitably 2 or 3 of them usually end up in the bottom 5. And while I think that might happen again this year with at least one of them, I think all the others have tended to step up, and they've kind of improved this year. And it's very, very hard to tell because, again, we're comparing first rehearsals to the rest of the second rehearsals that we saw today. So we kind of have to have that in mind, that some of the first rehearsals, like Malta that we saw the other day, wasn't great. I'll come on to her in a second. But that's what rehearsals all about. It's all about putting things together, getting your positions correctly and stuff, and improving. And there's still a long way to go for the direct finalists. So the ball is in their court, and I think there's definitely a lot to do. But it's very exciting because normally they are quite a big distance behind, because you do have a disadvantage being in the final directly because if you haven't got people who've picked up your song already. But it's very interesting to see that we now have 2 of the big 5 direct finalists in the top 3. So at the moment, and I think actually I'm going to actually talk about the odds. I think James Marston has sent me the odds. So we'll talk about the top 3 because they're way ahead of everyone else at the moment. They're almost half the odds. Third place is currently Malta at 5-1. Second place is Italy at 9-2, and France is leading at 3-1. And they're way ahead of everyone else at the moment. So I would say that it's a 3-horse race at the moment. It's still early days, but currently they are chopping and changing each other, and whoever performs will probably end up taking the lead again. So although France is slightly ahead at the moment, I don't see that possibly being the same, because there's always momentum when a country rehearses, that they get a flurry of bets put on them. So, and that happened for Malta, Italy and France, that they went ahead and then someone else took over them and they rehearsed. So at the moment, I think it's a 3-horse race. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. So overall, I think a good performance from the finalists. But let's have a think about who else impressed us from the second rehearsals from today's Malta plus the first half of semi-final 2. Hassan, who do you think was your favourites out of those today?
Well, I still like San Marino. It really does it for me. But my goodness, Austria, absolutely brilliant. You know, I mean, he's been outstanding ever since his first rehearsal. You know, and it just and my guilty pleasure is actually Serbia. you know, it's just it's pretty bonkers, you know, crazy sort of story there, but you know, it just sounds so good and energetic. Iceland is growing on me. You know, it's I feel sorry for some songs. Like, I mean, a country like Estonia, I mean, it's a really, really good song, but you know, it just won't stand out enough amongst some of these you know, walloping bangers that we have here. You know, and Greece impresses me. Only Poland again does worry me slightly, even though he was better this time round, but still needs a bit of work really. But you know, I mean, it's just like you know, we just saw the first half of semi-final 2, and that's a great show on its own, really. You know, just those songs is just marvelous. But I just love San Marino and Austria from today.
Okay. Adrian, what were your favourites from today?
I think 2 or 3. Malta was really good. It was the first song we saw this morning, and Destiny has changed her outfit a little bit, which I think it's difficult to kind of make a judgment on what a young woman is wearing on stage. And we're, especially the three of us speaking now, are all men, and it's not really our place to do that. But I started to think about it as a piece of costume that is supposed to sell a message. And I thought it was probably the right change, because the previous outfit gave the impression that she was a dancer, which she doesn't really dance in this performance. And this one, by changing the color to silver, it focuses the attention on her. She now stands out from her dancers a bit more, and if she's comfortable in it, then great. But aside from the things of what she is wearing, Destiny is performing the hell out of this song. Her vocal is brilliant, and I really hope people will get behind her, because although I'm not a huge fan of the song as such, but I mean, if Destiny is the first person to win Eurovision for Malta and the first person to win Junior Eurovision and the Eurovision Song Contest, then that is just amazing. The other country that really stood out was Greece. That has really come up a lot in its performance. In the arena, we get a totally different view than what you all will see on TV. It's basically one big, huge green screen and a load of Smurf-like dancers who are green running around and changing their clothes and so on. But in a way, actually, I don't think the song needs all that green screen fandango. Stefania is performing it really well. Her vocal is far better than I expected it to be, and by the third run through today, there was something almost epic about the way she was performing it and the sound of it. And as Alasdair says, yes, what are they about? I don't understand why they're there, except as a gimmick to make people remember it. But in a way, it doesn't need it. Her vocals are great, and she's lifting the performance live each time. So yeah, Greece was another standout for me, and the others have all been mentioned. Serbia, Iceland, Austria were all very good today, as well as some of the big five, and Netherlands.
Yeah, it's interesting actually, because as far as my facts are correctly, Malta and Greece are the two youngest contestants in the contest this year. So youth is definitely on their side this year, and it's great to see some of the young ones doing really, really well, because it must, as I'm saying before, to be 18 years old and have that amount of pressure put on your shoulders for your whole country to be supporting you, and have all that negativity or have all those comments against you. I mean, it's bad enough for some of us when we're on social media and we get comments, and we're grown men. So for these young girls, I take my hats off to them, because they especially have to go through quite a lot, and we're fully supporting them. Yeah. But yeah, I would agree with you. Sorry, Haas.
No, I would mention about Malta. I think her changing her outfit, I think gave a lot more confidence today. You know, because I mean, if you look at her video, I mean, where she looks far more mature. She seemed more at ease then. Now, and I think today, just by changing the outfits, her made look slightly more mature, and she was far more comfortable, you know. And then she gave a great performance, you know.
It does make you wonder, though. I mean, I know people have these comments about their outfits and saying, you know, I didn't really like that outfit, and sometimes they can come across as constructive criticism and say, but then sometimes you have to think about it as well, as if this girl has. Maybe she's chosen this outfit and it is her dream outfit, and she's in this outfit so much. For all these negative people to say they hate it and things, I mean, it's like if you get a new haircut and someone says they hate it, you know, that'll bring you down. So we have to really, I think people have to choose their words carefully.
Absolutely, because I mean, you know, clothes to make a person. They make you feel good, don't they? Really, what you wear. If you feel good, then that brings out the best in your ability. And so, well, good on her. Yeah, I mean, she was quite impressive today. Really was.
Yeah. So apart from the Malta and Greece, I think who are two of my favourites. Again, I'm going to see this again. The other two that I liked was Serbia. I didn't see Serbia for the first time around, and I've seen a lot of Hurricanes performances in the past, and generally they're all quite, I would say, trashy performances. But I mean, it's fun trashy, but they have like the big hair and the outfits. But this time, actually, there is the hair. There's lots of hair flicking. There's lots of strutting. There's lots of pointing and posing and pouting. But it actually comes across really good. They have like a background which is black and white, and they have some of the song lyrics coming up and stuff. But it's just the three of them on stage, and they actually really perform really, really well. And this is the first time I've seen them gel together like a group. Beforehand, it was about like three solo artists, but they're doing really well and stuff. And I think this is something that I really, really enjoy, and it might not get through, but you know, I'm at that point now where I love my songs. I like songs that I like, and if it doesn't get through, then you know, it's no big deal.
Absolutely. I mean, no, you know, those three ladies, they sound good together. And you know, and that really comes across. Not all girl bands in the past have been able to do that. Really, normally you have three different voices that just don't mesh together. Not here. You know, they work wonderfully well, and they just look the part, and such a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it really is.
It kind of reminded me of, and not that they look like drag queens, but it reminds me of something that like RuPaul, it would be on RuPaul's Drag Race, because it's that kind of big outfit where they're dancing and stuff like that. And I could definitely see a lip sync on this at RuPaul's Drag Race, because it's that kind of fun, upbeat song. So kudos to them. But I think my top song today, because I was just laughing so much in a good way, was San Marino. Now, Senate, she knows how to play the game. This girl, there is a big, massive story about her around, is Flo Rida going to be there? Is he not going to be there? And she's asked about this all the time. And today, as you've probably seen on the rehearsal, when she had her religious contraption on, instead of the pictures of the saints or the ladies, there was a picture of Flo Rida, and in words and in question marks and stuff. So she is really, really pushing the fact that, is it going to come? Is it not going to come? And I think it is marketing genius, because that's making people talk about her. And even during the song, she sings, "Are you ready to Flo Rida with me?" or something like that. But she does mention his name. So if he's not going to be there, she's either playing an amazing game or she's just teasing us all. At the moment, I can't call it. Is it going to? I'm sure we'll find out on Wednesday, I think it is, because that's the first rehearsal that he has to be there for. She's not on stage till then, so we'll find out then, I'm sure. So I can't wait to find out, because I don't think the song really needs him. I think she does really well without it. No. She does really, really well without him. And the guy's fine. He's not the focus of the song. And I guess in a way, if Flo Rida is going to be there, it might take the focus away from Senate. But this woman is, I mean, she's amazing. I mean, she's actually double the age of probably, she's probably the same age as Destiny and Stefania put together, plus more. So this woman she's a hurricane, really. So she's really good. I'm really, really pleased with her. And I really hope San Marino gets through, because they put so much hard work into this, and for them to fall at the hurdle would be quite disappointing for me.
I want them in the top three at least. Yeah. You know.
But it's one I would say for definite, it's the best Sam Maroney's, not San Maroney's, Sam Maroney's best entry they've ever had in Eurovision. So I really, really hope they do well from that.
Even better than Serhat, yeah?
Well, Serhat was fun, but come on, you can't really sing. This is a performance to end all performances, and
absolutely. No, this by far best, in my opinion, as well, best ever San Marino song ever.
You've been quite positive today, but is there any one rehearsal that you were disappointed with today?
Not really disappointed as such, but I think the three from today that are in the danger zone are Estonia, because of its draw and where it falls, and there's nothing much that they can do about that. I think also, unfortunately, even though I love Benny and I really want him to qualify, I think that one is in the borderline area. It just felt a tiny bit flat and a little bit sort of relaxed. Maybe, of course, it might kick up by the time live comes along. And the other one is Moldova. It's a difficult one to judge Moldova, because really, I want the bloody dancing flicking ice creams. I want more camp and more sugar. But most of the viewers who are going to see this for the first time probably won't know that there's this whole sugar thing, that she's on a sugar-free diet now. And so I don't know if that will affect how people will view it or not, but that's the one to me. I love it. It's still a great song, and she's performing it very well for what she's doing, but just give me some sugar.
I kind of have to agree with you there. I mean, I really love Moldova as a song, but it is falling a little bit flat. Just from that perspective, it's just not giving me the pizzazz that I really want from it. And I think they could have done so much more with it. I was expecting a huge thing, like you're saying, and it just feels like, is that it? So, but we don't know. I mean, again, it's still early days yet, and we'll see how things go. But I think overall, my least favourite song of today, and I hate to say it because I don't like being negative, is Poland. I love the song. I think the song's a fun pop song, and I really think it's quite catchy and stuff, but I just don't think it's cutting it at all. It's just a little bit subpar overall, I think, and it's a shame because I don't like being really negative about anything at all, but they're just not bringing in it. It feels like they're just not even putting the effort into it at all, and the bookies agree with me because he's 17th in the betting to qualify for the semi-final, and the women, actually, is it 16? No, 17th, because there's 17 songs in the semi, so he has an 18% chance of qualifying, just ahead of Georgia on 19, then Czech Republic on 28. So yeah, I don't think the people are agreeing with me at the moment, and I can't see Poland getting through, unfortunately.
Yeah, do you know what I think the problem is with this? If the songs we just mentioned now, is maybe they're missing a special hook about them to really grab the attention of the viewers. You know, because I mean, something like Sami, we know definitely will do, as will Serbia. Iceland would definitely do that, and Greece and Austria doesn't need any hook because it's just his voice just does the whole thing.
Yeah, it's hard though, because I mean, how do you decide who gets through? And you have to put the juries and you have to put the televoters both in mind.
Yeah,
and it's very difficult to kind of to comprehend. But yeah, I think things are, for me, it's beginning to pull together, and the qualifiers are starting to get clearer. I think there's maybe 11 or 12 now, and there's about 4 or 5 that I think are dead in the water, and there's about maybe 12 that are fighting for those last few spots at the moment. But we'll see, because there's always surprises. There's always surprises every year. You know?
There's one thing I forgot to mention earlier, and actually that's one last on tonight, and that was Spain.
Okay.
Again, the symbolism there was really well done. I mean, that we start off with an eclipsed moon, then it all comes together, and it's a bright moon in the end, symbolizing hope, whatever. And I think Blas is obviously an experienced singer. He was in the boy band. And again, that's a very emotional song full of angst as well. I mean, that could do well.
Okay, we've had a lot of comments coming through from you guys, so I'm going to read through some of these just now, because I do forget when you get so involved in the conversation, and I forget. Sorry, Eloise, forgot to let you in about earlier on, but you're here now, and that's the main thing. It's recorded anyway, so you'll be able to watch it back. So it's lovely to see you. Right. So some people were saying that, talking about the Eurovision Scoreboard app, I think Switzerland are still leading on that, and France is in 4th place. But yeah, I think we agree that that's a fan's perspective, and a lot of these votes were done way before rehearsals and stuff. So the fans are only a tiny little perspective. I remember San Marino came 3rd with Valentine Moneta like 5 years ago, or maybe actually was that 8 years ago now. So the fans are only a perspective, and we're a very small part of the voting thing. So I don't think it's always a great indicator. We've also got, let me just see, this is harder than it looks. We've also got someone saying that Iceland's clip looked so polished. Quite a few of you are saying that you really, really like Iceland. Yeah, Iceland was one that a lot of people didn't really talk about that much today, because it's still as good as it ever has been. And yeah, a lot of people really, really, really like that. And it hasn't moved up in the odds anywhere, really. It's kind of gone up to 4th at the moment. So it has got a chance. Do you think, do either of you think that Iceland has a chance of winning, Adrian or Haas?
I could see it winning. Yeah, I can see nearly everything winning now. I've been in this bubble for so long. I could make an argument for or against anything. As Monty said yesterday, there's probability and there's possibility. The probability is probably lower, but yeah, given that his song was in the UK charts for 9 weeks last year, and given that he had basically an almost worldwide hit with that song, people are going to remember that. So yeah, I can see it, and the act it's good. And while maybe us Eurovision fans were initially a little disappointed in the song, the performance brings it out really well. And I think there's ever the possibility.
Yeah,
and we mustn't forget that not everyone voting actually votes for the favourite song. Some people will remember that. They thought, oh, that was quirky. That's really weird. Yeah, I'm going to vote for them. And I think that's happened before in the past.
My only reservation is that it seems like a very Western orientated song. I think it's a song that will do really well in the Scandies and in Western Europe. I'm not convinced that people east of Italy will vote for it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel that it's a bit too westernized for that kind of thing. And I think for a song to win, it must have a bit more of an appeal around the whole of Europe. But, you know, who knows? I mean, what do I know, really? I'm no expert. Other comments I've got from Layla, she said that she's not a fan of lyrics flashing upon the backdrop. Lots of acts are doing that this year and seems a bit unimaginative. Yep, we've got that. I can't, on top of my head. I think we've got it from Serbia. We've got it from San Marino. There's probably more that I can't, off the top of my head, that I can think of.
Iceland, Netherlands.
Yeah.
Plenty of them. I don't know. In a way, I think it's actually good because it's getting the message across. If we look back a couple of years, Italy did that really well in 2018, I think, and came third. But by having done that, and particularly, it hammers home the message to an audience that's particularly, as James is saying, for songs that are in another language other than English. It hammers home the message quite well. And you know, these acts have 3 minutes to get a message across, and putting words on a screen is a way of doing that. Yeah,
because it's going to make you. Sometimes it can make things stand out with regards to if you see some of the words on screen. That's the bit it might be something that make you remember it a bit more. So, you know, rather than flowers or rather than a skyline or something like that, you know, this kind of pushes the theme of the song and the message of the song across.
And especially also the act. And the act, like Hurricane, you know, they probably know Hurricane, that they're not going to win Eurovision, but they're there to get themselves out to a wider international audience. Yeah. So the first thing you hear on dun 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 Hurricane on screen, of course, it's going to make you remember Hurricane, and you maybe have a couple of other names for them, but Hurricane is the name of the band, and that's the name you're going to remember. You're going to see Loco Loco, that's the name of the song, and so it's about making things memorable, I think.
Yeah, talking to them, actually, funnily enough, I was reading on, like, they've actually got some of the biggest YouTube views of all the rehearsals of all the countries. They must have a massive fan base. It's probably mostly in Serbia, but they have got a big fan base, you know, so whether something we haven't talked about before, will a fan base make someone do better than not? It's quite a questionable thing to say. You never know.
Yeah, I've just seen a Paul's comment about Jedrick from Germany has had some horrific comments about his song is about not having hate.
That's an interesting one, because to be fair, it's probably one of my least favourite songs, but I really don't want to be negative about him because I think that it's not very nice, but I think that he's done really well. Because I mean, apart from copying my hairstyle, you know, that's another thing. But I think he does really well, and he's got a cheesy grin, and it's the kind of song you'll love or hate, as we say, Marmite, you know. So, but I think he knows that. This whole thing is they're very I would say they're very, what's the right word?
Bonkers.
Yeah, but I think they're very clever about this whole thing. They know what they're doing. And he had a necklace on that said annoying today.
Yeah.
You know, so he's playing the game. He's playing the game.
Yeah, and he can't really sing either, really. I mean, he's completely out of breath about his own performance that we saw. But it was such great fun, you know, basically, you know, and it's going to capture people's imagination. You know, again, there's another app where people will say, yeah, you know what, that sounds like good fun. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm going to vote for it.
Yeah. We've got some comments about, obviously people are saying that Senate is amazing with the PR, and someone said that religious imagery would have cost her votes. But then again, you've got two Amen songs. You've got Austria and Slovenia, which are quite, I mean, the songs aren't really religious, but they have religious songs.
Cyprus have survived, haven't they? The big hoo-ha about making love with the devil. So, you know.
It did. I think all PR is good PR, you know, that's the thing, you know. Someone saying that, James Martin saying he feels underwhelmed with the UK's event. Well, I wouldn't say I'm underwhelmed, and I wouldn't say I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure it's whelmed the word. I think it was fine for what it is, but I think it's definitely not quite there yet, but you know, we shall see. But definitely, yeah, you know. Benny, someone's saying no, not our Benny. Well, yeah, unfortunately Benny I did kind of slip under the radar today for me. He's a nice guy and he's a really good guy, and he's vegan like I am, which I absolutely love. Come on, the vegans. But it just felt a bit flat. He hasn't really given us his all. He feels like he's giving us 50%, which is not good enough.
Again, it doesn't really have that hook to sort of grab you, you know, but I think he's a great character, you know. He's a very cheeky chappy, and I hope he does well. I mean, I hope he does go through.
Yeah, and someone, Leila's actually saying she really loves what she heard of Germany, such a Eurovision performance. And someone else is saying Netherlands isn't interesting, it has no direct competition in regards to the type of music. It could catch people's attention. That's a very good point, actually, because we have many songs that are in the same genre. All the young girly pop songs are fighting for the same votes. You've got some of the ballads that are fighting for the same votes, and then you've got these kind of some of these songs that are a bit different for everyone else that are individual songs, and it could be that they could be going for you know, a bigger market from that perspective. So yeah, it's interesting to tell. You never know. I mean, we all love to predict things. I mean, me, Adrian, and Alice would love to say we think that's going through, or that's sailing through, or it's not sailing through. But you know, I think we ever get 8 out of 10 at a push normally. Has anyone ever had 10 out of 10? I'm not sure.
No, never.
Had 6
I've got 9 out of 10 a few times, but never 10. And actually, I mean, I never want to get 10 out of 10 because I like to be surprised, you know?
Yeah. I think I've had 8 or 9 before, but never 10. And there's always that one that surprises you.
And that's what we want,
nowhere.
really, you know?
Yeah, so we shall see. We'll see. But yeah, so that's it for today. It's been a really, really fun day, a long day. Tomorrow, thankfully, is a very, very short day. We only have the second half of semi-final 2. So there's 9 songs kicking off at 9. And I think we might be done. Actually, let me double check. I think we could be done by, let me double check, 1:15 tomorrow UK time, which is great. So we finally got the afternoon to myself. I finish up work. I'm off work next week, so I'm loath to try and finish up with work. So that works out well for me. And we can actually have a nice relaxing evening tomorrow night. And then Saturday, we have all that's on a Saturday is the finalists again, and that's from 9:30 till 12. And then that's us till Monday. So the next few days are really quiet. We've kind of done the hard work now, really. So the next few days are quite easy. Sunday we've got a day off, so we probably won't have a Zoom call on Sunday. It'll be nice to kind of get up and recharge your batteries, get ready for the fun beginning on Monday, because that's when the big thing really starts. There'll be the first dress rehearsal and the second dress rehearsal on Monday, and looking forward to seeing those as well.
Actually, there's only 8 songs tomorrow.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
8 songs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. So tomorrow we have Georgia, Albania, Portugal, Bulgaria, Finland, Latvia, Switzerland, and Denmark. So yes. So we'll be back again at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So lovely. Thank you so much for joining us again today. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'll turn on the chat for you guys you can join us and we can have a little chat. So give me a wee second. But thank you guys, and thanks to Adrian, Haas, and to Alistair for starting off. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.